So James, fifth book.
Yeah, this will be Gamma Coin, book 2 of the Bastion Blackstone series. So it's technically I'm going to call it a detective series because I need that the tag. It needs to be labeled that, but really it's a manhunt. Kid commits aggravated assault and almost kills someone in a bar, goes on the run. Blackstone has to chase him down and catch him, and things go badly from there because gangs and secret government organizations, shootouts, and you name it. I'm very happy with this book. You just got to get it into people's hands.
Awesome. Yeah, and this is going to be the first where you actually have the second in a series out, because I know Ship of Fools the same continuity, but that's a separate series, correct?
Correct, but I have to remind you that I do have a fantasy series for free on Royal Road, which is in, if you count all of them, I'm on like book 7 or something in that series.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're talking about Undying Emperor?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was considered one thing. I didn't know that was
7 distinct plot arcs that if I were to break them into paperback releases, I would have Act 0, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, and not 4. Sorry, I can't count.
Gotcha.
6.
Fair enough. Hey, it's quite a lot you accomplished, and I know one of the goals you told me, so it looks like you're well on your way to that. Real quick, want to say hi to in the chat. We got Guilty Gearhead. He says, "Hail everyone," and Andrew Campbell. Big ups. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey guys.
Yeah, so you got quite a bit out there already, and you got no signs of slowing down. The amount of creativity you have just still astounds me.
Oh, tell that to my beta readers, pointing out all the issues with my next book.
Well, that's, as you know, part of the process is just because you have a great idea doesn't mean you necessarily conveyed it properly. And especially when it's already in our own heads and we're writing it, we have more context by default and have a tendency to overlook gaps in the telling.
Yeah. Yes. Unfortunately, I need to actually restructure some things because I kind of just discovered a lot of the story because I know the plot beats. I know the things that are satisfying about it's an isekai novel. But I know there are better ways than what I did, and I need to go do a bunch of rewriting.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be finishing my first draft for my current book this week, and I'm already looking through. I got so much I need to restructure in that.
Right on. So you work in one series, right?
Yeah.
So what is this? Is this book 2 or book 3 that you're working on right now?
Book 2.
Right on.
Although I do have a short story that is also in the same continuity, but that would be part of a separate series altogether if I continue with that.
The short stories are fun. I actually quite like them, but there's no good way to market them because people don't like reading short stories.
Yeah, I would have to have I would think good 5 or 6 of those stories, maybe more done, and release it as a volume. Almost like for to use a television term, like it's a season.
So I don't think that typically works well. The problem is that if they're about different characters and different plots, when you're reading through something like that, you keep asking yourself, why do I go to the next one? Why do I care to go to the next story? And with a novel, the reason you go through the entire novel is because there are continuous plot threads and character developments going on. You're theoretically, you're seamlessly getting questions and answers chained together that go until the end of the book. But if you're, say, introducing 13 characters for future adventures, and they haven't met each other or anything, and it's just like backstory, for instance, it's not engaging.
And I do understand what you're referencing there. And if you want to get into that discussion at some point tonight, we absolutely can.
Well, I should warn you, I can't necessarily say that long. I'm just popping in. You know me. I always have things going on at this time.
This is true. Yeah, but no, the short story series I'm thinking of is they're a team of detectives, and it would be like the series of cases, one case after another. And while not necessarily every case will have something to do directly with each other, there is someone behind all of them.
Is there any way that you could redo that the way so? Because it made an impression on me, I really like the way House MD was written.
Yeah.
And every episode is a different sick patient that has to be figured out.
Right.
But half the time, like, yes, that makes it a detective mystery series of a sense. But, like, you're following it half the time because House is hilarious and he's mean and he yells at people. But you get these evolutions of his status in the hospital. And his relationship with the director keeps changing as they're going from patient to patient to patient. And that's what gives the season to House structure, even though each patient is like a one and done mystery, right?
Right.
So if you could work it that way, it would probably work very well. But that's, of course, easier said than done.
Yeah. And because pretty much they're dealing with stuff in an area, and there is a big bad, and he might not have something to do with every single case, but his influence is throughout, and that's what I deal with. But it's meant to be like, the idea is you can have, like, you catch a short story, you see a case, you see their personalities, what they can do, how they react to each other, and you get a piece of the bigger arc. And then, so it's meant to be, I'm thinking of it to take in bite-sized chunks. There's just short stories that are quick and easy to read, fun, but they all fit together to form a larger narrative. And I don't know if that's what I'm going to do. That's just the idea in my head, and it sounds like a good idea right now. The more I mull it over, it's probably going to evolve quite a bit.
Have you thought about doing something like Substack serialized releases?
You want that? Maybe that is what I'll end up doing with them.
Yeah, so like I said, the issue with doing that is the format of why do you continue reading? And that's an issue that exists in paperback, in my opinion. But if you change the way the consumer is getting the story, that becomes less of an issue. In fact, it's arguably a boon. Or you can be a complete dick about it and leave the ending of every short story in the next post. Oh, I got some.
No, that's more aggravating than hooking. You know.
What?
Read out.
Was that read out?
That was intentional.